2025.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Wednesday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And get ready, have a jacket. It is chilly out this morning.
Yesterday cold, today cold. Spring just isn't quite wanting to arrive, is it? And today, a lot more clouds in the sky as well. Look at those current temperatures early this morning. We actually have plenty of clear conditions over much of upstate New York as we speak, with more clouds increasing throughout the daytime today. But again, it is below freezing early this morning. Live view from down in the city of Utica from our Nexus Center camera. And you can see here, things also looking dry early today. Radars picking up on just quiet conditions all across pretty much central New York and the entire Northeast. But things will change as we head into this afternoon and into this evening. So clouds will increase, highs only in the 40s, but then by around 5-6 p.m., a cold rain begins to move in. That'll linger on and off throughout the overnight hours. And then we're tracking a warmer day tomorrow, but will that warmth last? We'll have a full look at that forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. President Trump is
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good morning, everyone. On this Wednesday, it was a cold one yesterday, still plenty of sunshine. Today we start out with partly cloudy skies and cold weather, and then we're tracking a colder rain as we head into the evening hours. A look at the area roadways this morning. Expect the potential for patchy frost as you wake up and head out to your car early today. Along with that, the roadways, aside from being a little bit on the frosty side, are completely dry. Just a heads up for those of you who are traveling far today, for example, north of Syracuse along 81. Early this morning, there's a road closure due to an accident. Again, that is north of Syracuse along Route 81. But besides that, here locally, no incidents to report. Radar scans so far this morning looking quiet, and today we are starting out with cold temperatures and partly cloudy skies. Clouds will gradually increase this afternoon, and then by this evening, an approaching warm front brings cold rain. Bit of an oxymoron there, but we are expecting a cold rain to arrive this evening and tonight, and then a warmer day tomorrow, but a better shot for rain showers. We'll explain the details on that in a few minutes. Gary?
a warm front brings cold rain.
I know, right? Doesn't make sense.
Wow. Well, it is peanut butter.
Cooperstown Camera is brought to you by Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Utica. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone. On this Wednesday, it's a cold start, frosty start in some spots, but overall looking dry. Downtown Utica live view right now, partly cloudy skies early this morning, well before our sunrise time. And on top of that, we are currently sitting at 28 degrees. Thankfully, though, calm winds. It's been a windy one yesterday. We are expecting some strong winds today as well as tomorrow. This windy stretch doesn't look to go away anytime soon. The dew point, by the way, sits at 10 degrees. So we got a lot of dry Canadian air in play here early today. And that'll cause anything that appears on the radar to be delayed when it comes to whether that rain or snow reaches the ground. So the radar right now is dry. Zooming out the radar and satellite, here comes our weather maker. And again, a lot of dry air into the ground, so all this leading edge snow is not going to reach us, just some low, or at least some upper level clouds. I want to zoom out though to this massive system here because although we are not seeing the effects of it, the central part of the U.S. will. A high risk, a rare high risk for severe weather on the border of Tennessee, Kentucky, parts of Missouri, and I believe the southern portion here of Illinois at a level 5 out of 5 risk. Even the red zone, level 4 out of 5, spanning several states. This is going to pack a punch when it comes to severe weather here in the U.S. Again, thankfully here locally, that doesn't look to impact us with any severe weather for today. Temperature trend, looking ahead the next few days, close your eyes if you're a fan of spring temperatures because we're really going back down to a cooling stretch in the 40s, eventually 30s by Tuesday of next week. So enjoy the rare 70-degree day we'll be seeing tomorrow, although it will be likely accompanied by some rain showers. So today, partly cloudy skies, a quiet afternoon. By this evening, here comes the leading edge of a cold rain system. Now on top of that, I'll show in a second the potential for ice in the Hamilton County area, Adirondack Park region. That'll be the biggest concern for this system. Then tomorrow, things warm up quickly with some on and off spotty rain showers, and then a potential for a line of thunderstorms to roll through in the evening. Again, last time this type of setup happened, it fizzled out, but still, we'll keep our eyes peeled on how this does play out. Again, when it comes to ice, if you live in Hamilton County or know anyone in Hamilton County, heads up that this could produce roughly between 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of ice in some of those highest elevations. So again, today cold, windy, rainy, at least by the evening hours. Most of the day today looking dry. Thunderstorms tomorrow, followed by sunshine and dry weather Friday. So Friday, not looking too bad, but April showers arrive Saturday and Sunday, and then comes a cool down next week into the 30s and 40s. So we're not done with the cold weather just yet, but the longer range, we've got to warm up at some point, so we'll see when that happens.
It's quite the ride.
Yes.
That's for sure. Eric, thanks. Well, a local radio station.
April 2nd, 2025.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And we said it earlier, but if the kids are headed to the bus stop, dress warm this morning.
Yes, grab that extra jacket. It's cold out. It's a frosty start this morning, and but it's dry. It's the good news. Look at the current conditions out there right now. We are waking up to a frosty 28 degrees in the Mohawk Valley, 27 in Hamilton, 15 degrees up in Saranac Lake. So up in the Adirondacks, it is a very cold start to the morning. Downtown Utica, a live view right now. Things are quiet and dry, and same thing reported on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Now, much of the day today shapes up dry. As we head into the evening, roughly 5, 6, 7 p.m., an approaching warm front brings a cold rain to our area, and that actually will set the stage for a warmer day tomorrow. However, we'll be dealing with some more rain chances here and there. So we've got a warm day expected tomorrow. Will that warm stretch last, or will we dip back down to that cold weather again? We'll have that full forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks, and don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away each morning. After
News Channel 2 is brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery and Deli. The Cooperstown Camera is brought to you by Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Utica.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Wednesday morning. Our photo of the day today takes us to the town of Lee. Shout out to Lee early this morning, where we have a photo of a pretty crocus taken by an anonymous submitter. And so far, the flowers have been pretty hit or miss. It's just been so cold and it's been frosty, and the weather patterns really haven't forced these flowers to go all in on blooming. Again, daffodils, as you see here, the crocuses, the snowdrops, still trying their best to bloom. But if you have any photos like this you'd be willing to share, you can send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics to the chance of your photo featured right here on News Channel 2 at sunrise. We're especially looking for spring photos. Of course, that includes things like flowers, sunrises, anything that would encompass that spring feeling in the air. So today, radar, it's looking dry so far. We're not expecting any impact weather today, at least for the first half of the day today. We are tracking the arrival of rain, a cold rain later on this evening, and then following that, a warm front brings temperatures in the 70s. That will eventually cool down, though. We'll have a full detailed look at that forecast in just a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. New Hartford 9th.
Central New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. It starts out cold and dry early today, and beyond that, potentially a cold rain later on this evening. Before we get to that forecast, though, I want to give a shout out to the kids I promised I would give a shout out to, and of course here they are, the second grade class of Westmoreland Elementary. I had a chance to go and visit them yesterday, and we got to talk all about weather, had a lot of great questions, and they got to witness a tornado demonstration with a water bottle and a bunch of beads. In fact, you can actually see this demonstration right here. So all these kids got to see how a tornado forms. They explained that the atmosphere behaves like a liquid, and you can see that tornado beginning to form as it lowers down into the ground, all that debris as well. So it was a fun experiment to do with the kids, and it was overall a great time by all. So a big thank you to the staff at Westmoreland for welcoming me with open arms. Downtown Utica, live view right now. It's dry, it's cold. Temperatures beginning here in the 20s. Calm winds, though. But I want to emphasize, too, as well, the dew point sits at 10 degrees. It means that there's a lot of dry air at play here in the Mohawk Valley. And what that's going to do is, although things look dry initially, we've got this leading edge of some rain and snow, primarily snow, but this isn't going to really reach the ground. It's going to take a little bit for that to produce anything meaningful on the ground here locally. But what we will see later on this afternoon is a cold rain. Thankfully, nothing like what the Midwest is going to experience today, which is a level 5 out of 5 risk, a rare high risk in effect for parts of the Mississippi River right here. And this is all driven by strong winds, tornado potential as well. Of course, you can see here, thankfully, this does not impact us here in central New York today. But back to that forecast here locally. Today we start out dry, clouds increase, a cold rain arrives 5, 6, 7 p.m. Also the potential for a wintry mix and ice in Hamilton County and parts of the Adirondacks. Just a heads up for those of you that live up there or know folks that live up there as well. Then tomorrow, sporadic sunshine mixed in with rain showers here and there. Then that cold front, potential for rumbles of thunder as that front rolls through. Then Friday, so far looking dry. But again, we do want to emphasize, though, in areas to the north, there's potential for maybe a fraction of an inch of ice. You can say maybe a tenth to maybe a quarter of an inch in those highest elevations up north. 7-day forecast. We are approaching 70 tomorrow, but that is the outlier. We're back into the 50s and then 40s for Saturday and Sunday, so we're back to April showers. Maybe they will actually bring Mayflowers, or maybe we're still in a winter pattern. I do think, though, we'll be more on the warmer side, potentially in the second half of the month. We'll see how that pans out.
It's April.
Yeah.
Feels good. Eric, thanks. Well, there are plenty of new...
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And temperatures on April 2nd, the 20s.
Yes, 20 degrees starting
Wow.
the day today. Some locations in the Adirondacks in the teens.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cold this morning. In fact, a look at the current temperatures early today. If you're heading out, grab that extra layer. Winter is still in the air, despite it being April. Of course, we're used to this. We grew up in, or at least I grew up in central New York. We don't really see those typical spring temperatures until usually maybe mid-late April, maybe even early May. Why not June? It is always delayed here. Of course, I'm kidding. Temperatures are in the 20s again early this morning, teens in the Adirondacks. Downtown Utica, live view right now. We start out dry with partly cloudy skies. Now, the radar right now picking up on quiet conditions. There's a lot of very dry air near the surface, so although we'll be seeing on radar a few snow showers moving in, they won't be reaching the ground until roughly as a cold rain later on this evening, roughly between 5 and 6 p.m., especially in areas out to the west. In the wake of this cold rain, we actually warm up tomorrow. That cold rain is the leading edge of a warm front, and we'll see temperatures approaching near 70 tomorrow, but will that warm stretch last? We'll explain how long it does and if we cool down coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. President Trump is calling today Liberation.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Wednesday morning. Time now is 6:12, and early today as you're heading out, you might encounter some frost. It's a frosty start for some folks this morning. On top of that, actually, it's pretty dry out there. Look at some area roadways right now. The radar also pick up on dry conditions, so that in a second. But first, the traffic tracker right now. Lots of green across the board. I do want to emphasize, some of you watching might be traveling either in your job or whatnot. And just a heads up, if you're leaving early today, north of Syracuse, 81 is closed due to an accident. Just a heads up if you're heading out west in that direction early this morning. But again, the radar is looking dry. The only impact to your morning routine will be scraping off the frost off the windshield early today. Following that, things dry out. It remains partly cloudy for much of the morning. Clouds increase this afternoon, and that gives way to a cold rain this evening. And beyond that, we are looking at a warmer day tomorrow, but will that warm weather last? A full look at that forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. It's peanut butter and jelly time. That's right.
Well, your day. Watch for the Storm Tracker 2 Commutecast and be ready for your drive to and from work. The Storm Tracker 2 Commutecast is brought to you by the Pratt Munson College of Art and Design. Visit Pratt Munson today and ignite curiosity and creativity.
Know before they go. The Storm Tracker 2 bus stop forecast.
The Cooperstown Camera is brought to you by Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Utica. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, on this Wednesday. It was a cold one yesterday. It's going to be a cold one today, unfortunately. We're not seeing any signs of spring today. But before we get to that forecast, again, a shout out to the folks at Westmoreland Elementary, especially the second graders, a great group of kids. We learned a lot about weather, how it works, the stuff we do in meteorology in our field here, what I do here at the station. On top of that, we got to do an experiment with a tornado in a water bottle, and this is one of the coolest experiments I've ever done. It was a lot of fun doing it. You can see the tornado begin to form and slowly move its way down the water bottle. And we got to explain why it forms. And so now, Westmoreland second graders, experts at tornadoes. So a shout out to the kids and the staff there at Westmoreland early this morning. Downtown Utica, live view right now. We got some wispy clouds in the sky. It's a dry start. And by dry, it looks to be very dry. Dew point of 11. That means that anything that arrives in the sky, like rain or snow, that we might pick up on radar, will not actually reach the ground. For example, right here, white over Ithaca, that is not reaching the ground. That's called Virga. And as we zoom out, we are seeing that warm front slowly approaching from the southwest. Zooming out, although we are only seeing the northern edge of the system, just a heads up, if you know friends and family in the Mississippi River Basin right there, level 5 out of 5 risk for severe weather. This is a massive front that is likely to produce a lot of severe thunderstorms, potentially tornadoes as well. This is all in the Midwest. So again, if you know friends and family in the border of Illinois into parts of Kentucky and into Tennessee, there could be a strong risk for storms there. But again, here locally, we are not seeing any of that severe weather. What we are seeing, though, is rain and potentially a wintry mix. So here we are this evening. Here comes that cold rain by 6 p.m. Then those of you up in Hamilton County and up in the Adirondacks might encounter a wintry mix and ice as that front begins to move its way to the north. Then sporadic rain showers on Thursday, temperatures peaking in the upper 60s before a cold front fires up a few thunderstorms moving through an area heading into the evening. Then beyond that, Friday looks dry. But again, a heads up when it comes to ice potential, 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch for locations up in the highest elevations to the north. So your 7-day forecast, we've got some potential for thunderstorms tomorrow. Then we're cooling back down again. April showers Saturday and Sunday. And I hope that we eventually get warmer weather so we do see those Mayflowers. I have a couple submissions with photos across the area, and I hope to see more soon.
Yeah, the warm weather is definitely on its way. Just a matter of when, right?
Yeah.
Eric, thanks. A local radio
5.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And you were mentioning earlier a winter wonderland up north tonight, huh?
Yes, it's going to be potentially icy up north, wintry mix. Here locally, though, in the Mohawk Valley, maybe a cold rain. So we're not done with this cold weather just yet, but at least this morning it's dry out there. A look at those current conditions as you wake up this morning. We're sitting at 28 degrees in the Mohawk Valley, specifically Griffis and Rome. But yes, early this morning, it is a 15-degree start to the day up in the Adirondacks. Now, the Nexus Center camera looking at downtown Utica, we have mainly clear skies, wispy cirrus clouds out in the distance. And, of course, the radar looking dry early this morning. I'm going to zoom out a little bit as well because over here to the south and west, there's some snow showers picking up on the radar, but this is not going to reach the ground initially. A lot of dry air near the surface as we speak. But today, we start out dry and sunny. However, clouds will increase. Temperatures climb only into the upper 30s, low 40s, with that cold rain, as I mentioned before, arriving between roughly 6 p.m. That'll set the stage for an unsettled but warmer day tomorrow. But will that warmth last? We'll have a full look at that forecast in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Well, after months of speculation,
A Storm Tracker 2 team where we track storms. The Cooperstown Camera is brought to you by Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Utica.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Wednesday morning. We are showcasing our photo of the day, which takes us to Lee. Shout out to the town of Lee this morning. This is a photo of a crocus flower, and we've seen, I believe, another submission of this as well. It's difficult seeing a lot more flowers recently with the cold weather we've experienced, of course, this morning being on the frosty side. So I guess that some flowers are a bit limited in nature. But if you have a spring photo like this or any other photo you'd like to submit to us to have a chance at have your photo featured right here on News Channel 2 at Sunrise, you can send it to the link right there on the top of your screen, WKTV.com/weather/pics. We are tracking a dry day for the most part today. However, a cold rain arrives this evening. We'll break down the timing and if there's potential for ice up north coming up in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. New Hartford 9th grader.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, on this Wednesday. It starts out cold, dry, but we are witnessing a warm-up tomorrow, although it will be on the brief side. Before we get to that forecast, though, I do want to give a shout-out. I mentioned it to the second grade class of Westmoreland Elementary yesterday. I'd be giving them a shout-out this morning. And here they are, a great group of kids here, a lot of smart kids in here, asked a lot of really good questions. Some I was even not prepared for, which is, of course, the best news or the best situation I always want in school visits. We also, on top of talking about how the weather works, how my job works and whatnot, we actually did an experiment with a tornado in a water bottle. And in fact, here's the video of it. And this was really fun to do. You got to see all the rotating water here produce a tornado. And we talked about how the atmosphere behaves like a fluid. And this is how tornadoes form. And so the second grade class of Westmoreland now officially knows how a tornado forms. That's pretty cool. So a shout out to the kids and the staff there in Westmoreland Elementary. Downtown Utica live view right now. We actually could see a pretty colorful sunrise. Those of you who are photography experts, get your cameras ready. I'm looking at these wispy clouds out in the distance and that sunrise slowly approaching. This could be a good recipe for a colorful, vibrant sunrise. Sunshine in Rome, temperature in the mid to upper 20s, calm winds, dry air at play here today. So anything that you see in the radar right now is not reaching the ground. Zooming out, we've got this leading edge of a warm front, of course, that will be producing cold rain later on today. But what this is a part of is a massive storm system across the center of the country, bringing a rare 5 out of 5 risk for severe weather in the Mississippi River area in between Kentucky, Missouri, Illinois, even in parts of Tennessee, and even parts of, I would say, northern Alabama as well. So this morning, it's going to be a pretty busy day there for the Midwest. Here locally, though, we're not seeing any of that severe weather. Today, in fact, pretty quiet. Cold, though. Clouds increase. Here comes that cold rain this evening. Watch Hamilton County here because there's a lot of pink here. It could be a wintry mix in the Hamilton County highest elevation. So heads up for those of you that are watching from up north. Then tomorrow, a bit on the warmer side, 60s, on and off rain, cold front rolls through, potential for thunderstorms by the mid-afternoon. Then things dry out for Friday. But again, when it comes to the ice potential, just a quick look right here, between 1/10 to 3/4 of an, or 1/4 of an inch, I should say, of ice in the highest elevations north. 7-day forecast, thunderstorms potential tomorrow. Following that, sunshine on Friday. The rain moves in Saturday and Sunday. So overall, it's a roller coaster of different seasons. We've got snow, we've got rain, we've got thunder, we've got whatnot. So here we are with April coming in like a lion.
And any chance to enjoy that 70 degrees tomorrow? Is it going to be raining all day?
Not all day long, sporadic rain showers. So if you do want to get out, maybe do a quick walk or run, walk the dog, could be great weather for that.
Keep an eye on the sky.
Yes.
Eric, thanks. Well, there are plenty of meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now. And Eric, we've warmed up since this morning, but it doesn't feel like April still, right?
No, it still feels like maybe March, maybe even late February. It's just been such a cold stretch, and today that cold weather continues. Look at those temperatures out there right now. We're sitting at 35 degrees in Rome, 36 Hamilton. Again, that warm pocket still appears to be Poughkeepsie down in the Hudson Valley at 45, same as Dansville out in western New York, but of course none of that warmth is here locally. I guess if you call 45 degrees warm. Downtown Utica, live view right now. Clouds have continued to move in. Still, it's looking dry as of this point. The radar looking quiet. However, as we head into this evening, we'll be tracking the arrival of a cold rain moving in roughly around 6 p.m. This will usher in, believe it or not, warmer temperatures. Take a look at this. We're in a high of 38, 39, 40 degrees today. We don't really cool down too much tonight. In fact, tomorrow we're approaching near 70, but that's short-lived. We're tracking what goes beyond that into the rest of the week coming up in just a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. We are following some breaking news out of
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, still shaping up cold. Now, the good news is it's been dry pretty much all day long. That will not be the case for the near term, however. Let's take a look at downtown Utica, or I should say, live look at Oneonta right now from our camera atop Hartway College, facing the eastern sky. We've got these clouds rolling in right now. This is a warm front, which will gradually increase temperatures, and key word is gradually. We're still in the mid-30s right now in Oneonta as we speak, lower 30s as you head up north. The radar right now also looking dry here locally, but we zoom out and we can see this approaching weather system. This will begin to erode that dry air near the surface as we head into this evening and tonight, allowing for a cold rain to fall, with the exception of some higher elevations in Hamilton and in parts of Herkimer County, which could see some freezing rain or sleet mixing in as well. But I also want to zoom out more so to the larger scale side of things, because a lot of the central U.S. is going to be witnessing a pretty strong storm system. Notice here a pink and red indication here of level 4 and level 5 out of 5 risk for severe weather. This is not too common that we see high risk setups, but here we are. If you know anyone in the Mississippi River area, including parts of Tennessee, Kentucky, even parts of Illinois, Missouri, just a heads up that they could be encountering some pretty significant severe weather today. Here locally, though, we're not really going to see too much of that. Maybe a few thunderstorms tomorrow. In fact, really our outlying day for the near term is tomorrow, high of 70. Following that, we'll see this gradual cool down as we're still in this stubborn cold pattern. I know a lot of you are probably sick of cold weather and just are waiting for that warmth. But we're getting teased here and there with these warm days. But overall, these cool weather patterns continue on. So today, looking quiet, then that widespread cold rain arrives tonight. Potential for ice, primarily in Hamilton and northern Herkimer County. Tomorrow, it's a mixed bag of peaks of sunshine, clouds, a stray rain shower, but we will see widespread, or at least a better shot for scattered showers by the evening, with even some rumbles of thunder as this cold front rolls through. Following that, we'll say goodbye to warmth for the short term, and we'll say return to mild weather with sunshine on Friday and highs in the 50s. And there's recapping ice potential. Notice here the pink zone up north, between a tenth to a quarter of an inch of ice potential in areas in the Adirondacks. And of course, beyond that, things do dry out again on Friday. So your 7-day forecast, it's really looking like April showers, maybe some April snow showers, maybe some April thunderstorms. It's a mixed bag of everything. Here we are in early April with this pattern that doesn't want to kick out of central New York. So, but at least in the short term, Friday is looking nice and dry.
Keeps you busy, doesn't
Yes.
it? That's for sure. Eric, thanks. Well, Luigi Mangione, the meteorologist Eric Gage joining us, and you're starting this half hour off a little differently, right?
Yes, it's World Autism Awareness Day, and I figured, give a shout out to my other.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. Your brother, Rico. What a great, great brother he is for you. I know you're breaking down here on World Autism Day. There he is, right there with your mom and your grandma. And I know it's tough for you, but definitely a shout out down to the folks down in Otsego County. You have it. You got it. That's for sure.
I'm going to try.
Yep, you got it.
Oh, did I expect this to happen?
Yep. Keep it going. You got it.
Oldest brother, probably the best oldest brother you could ask for.
Yes. Got that right.
So that's how much it means to me.
Yes.
Look at the temperatures this afternoon. We're in the 30s right now. And we're looking at a warm-up as we head into tomorrow. So I'll send it back to you, Gary, and thank you for...
Yeah, I don't blame you. Eric, a big shout out to your brother and your entire family down there in Otsego County, that's for sure. Well, more than 240...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Feeling a little better now. Taking a look in Oneonta right now. We are tracking some clouds rolling through the area. It's been dry to start today, but as we head into this evening, we'll be seeing the arrival of some rain showers. It's going to be a cold rain, and it's going to be lasting for a few hours heading into the evening before we're looking at a warm-up as we head into tomorrow. For right now, the temperature sits at 39 in Oneonta, so at least initially it's still in the 30s. And we can see the leading edge of this front out in western New York as we speak. A lot of that isn't reaching the ground just yet, but as we look at the larger scale side of things, here's some of that rain that's going to move its way in as we head into, again, this evening, once that rain overcomes that dry air near the surface. Zooming out, though, again, there is still that massive storm system attached to this low pressure, which is likely going to produce a lot of severe weather in the central portion of the U.S. You can see the red and pink here. That's the bullseye of the level 5 out of 5 risk. This is an uncommon high-risk event for parts of the Mississippi River right here, just outside of Memphis. So this is a system that's likely going to be causing some severe weather in this zone. So if you know any friends and family in this area, give them a heads up that they might want to tune into their local stations. Again, the local meteorologists in that part of the country are some of the best in the world. They handle tornado warnings like it's, they can do it blindfolded. They're the most qualified people you could ask for. And again, their work in the community is just overwhelming. 70, the official high expected tomorrow. It's a warm one, but it's short-lived as we see this cooling pattern heading into the middle of the weekend and the start of next week. So our Skycast, we see the arrival of that rain this evening, potential for ice up in Hamilton and Herkimer County, mainly northern Herkimer County, I should emphasize. Then tomorrow we will see a few spotty rain showers. It's not going to rain all day long, but don't be alarmed if a rain shower passes over you. But as we head into the evening hours, I would say late afternoon, 3 to 5 p.m., here comes that cold front. Could fire up a few thunderstorms here and there, but for the most part, anything severe-wise that's affecting much of the Midwest will largely pass south of our area. But still, following tomorrow, heading into Friday, we will see quieter weather. Sunshine returns, although it won't be nearly as warm as tomorrow, with highs only in the 50s with that north wind kicking in. And that seems to be the culprit here on when we aren't warming up all too much. We are expecting some potential for ice accumulation up north, between a tenth to a quarter of an inch up in parts of Hamilton and Herkimer County. But just a heads up early today that, that some locations up there could encounter that heading into Thursday. So your 7-day forecast, potential for storms tomorrow, then things do quiet down Friday. Rain showers return Saturday and Sunday. Overall, pretty much a mixed bag of weather for all of the next week or so. We could be encountering thunderstorms, snow, rain, sunshine, you name it. Early April has it. So.
And I already had a friend text me about the love for your brother right there. That was amazing here on this World Autism Day.
I was not expecting to get that emotional.
Boy, you
Thank
are
you, Gary,
real.
for carrying me through that.
You are real, that's for sure.
I appreciate the love. So
And you recovered
thank you.
very well. Eric, thanks. Well, there are plenty of new